10 Amazing Facts about Ancient Rome and the Romans. Did you know that the Roman Empire had an area so vast that Alaska could contain it more than 3 times? The ancient Romans were one of the most advanced civilizations to have ever left their mark on Earth. You can be sure that wherever the Golden Eagle standard flies, Rome's military and bureaucratic reach reigns supreme. With a heritage that spans more than 1,500 years and witnessed the fall and assimilation of hundreds of ancient cultures and peoples, it's easy to see why the Romans became such an important part of the collective history of the world. With an empire so large that it had to be split in half, it's no surprise that the entire history of ancient Rome contains some interesting little facts, and here are the top 10 facts about ancient Roman Rome for you to enjoy. 1. Plebeians were lower-class Roman citizens. As a result, the plebs faced civil disfigurement under ancient Roman law and society, which resulted in widespread civil unrest and violence. The plebs were able to abolish their civil defects in 287 BC, and any rules passed by the plebeian assembly were then applied to all Roman citizens, not just the plebs. The only position available to plebs in the Roman Senate was the tribune for plebs. This position is often the most significant check of power to keep Senate policies and laws fair to all plebs. 2. The first people to attack England were the Romans. Until 55 BC, England was an almost mystical land, and most ordinary people weren't even sure it existed. So, with great ambitions, none other than the future dictator in perpetuity Julius Caesar decided to invade England and get gold and glory for himself. While Caesar's first invasion of England was a disastrous military failure that didn't bring him wealth, it gave him all the glory he needed as he not only proved that England existed but invaded it. Nonetheless, it was almost 100 years before England was conquered and incorporated into the Roman Empire in 43 CE. 3. At its height, the Roman Empire covered enough territory to cover 3 Alaskans. The Roman Empire reached its peak in AD 117, covering a vast surface area of over 5 million square miles. Alaska, America's largest state, has a surface area of over 1.7 million square miles, which means that you could easily fit 3 Alaskas with free space into the surface area of the Roman Empire. However, contrary to what Stalin might claim, quantity is not synonymous with quality. The Roman Empire discovered this the hard way. As their empire grew and expanded, their ruling institutions became increasingly ineffective, leaving them vulnerable to attack and contributing to the decision to split the empire up in AD 285. It played an important role in the fall of the Western Roman Empire. 4. There were, at some point, 2 Roman empires. As stated earlier, the expansion of the Roman Empire was far from sustainable, and it was because of this rapid expansion that Emperor Diocletian decided to break up the Roman Empire in AD 285. He divided the Roman Empire into 2 parts, the Eastern Roman Empire and the Western Roman Empire. The Byzantine Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire, dominated much of the Middle East. This empire lasted for more than 1,000 years before surrendering to the Ottoman Empire in 1453 AD. The Western Roman Empire, on the other hand, did not perform as well as its eastern counterpart, with Rome being sacked in AD 410 and the empire finally disbanding in AD 476. 5. In AD 410, Rome was sacked for the first time. Since the early 750s BC, when the Roman Empire was founded, its capital, Rome, had never fallen into enemy hands. Some, like Spartacus, came close, but no one had ever accomplished such a feat. However, after a series of failed battles and negotiations, Alaric I, king of the Visigoths, a Germanic people living in Eastern Europe, led his troops through Rome's payroll gate and plundered it on August 24, 410 AD. While it wasn't the last time, it was the first time Rome was captured, let alone sacked. This was the beginning of the end for the Western Roman Empire. The Western Roman Empire, on the other hand, would fail and try, in vain, to recover until its complete dissolution in AD 476. 6. In 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire died. Despite the first sacking of Rome in AD 410 by King Alaric and his Visigoths, and many subsequent sackings by various armies and kings, people regard the abdication of Emperor Romulus Augustus in AD 476 as the official end of the Western Roman Empire. Odoacer, a German barbarian, captured Rome in AD 476 and forced the city's last emperor, Romulus August, to abdicate. Odoacer then occupied Rome and declared himself king of Italy, effectively ending the 1,000-year reign of the Western Roman Empire. After the fall of Rome, the education, government, infrastructure, and culture that the Romans had implanted in Europe quickly collapsed, and Europe fell into barbarism and constant war. The next 500 years will be known as the European Dark Ages. 7. When it comes to eating, the Romans sit down. Although it was originally an ancient Greek custom, the Romans adopted the lying down method of eating. Only upper-class men sat down to eat in ancient Greece, while upper-class women and children, as well as anyone from the lower classes, had to sit. Unlike the ancient Greeks, upper-class Roman women were allowed to lie down while eating, and some lower-class Romans did as well. Those who were rich enough to buy it had slaves serving them. 8. Weasel, birds and monkeys are the most popular pets in Rome. Pets were very popular with the Romans, just as pets are in modern times. Contrary to popular belief, the toga was only ever worn by wealthy Roman citizens. While most togas are white, some are colored to represent one's role in society, while others have colored stripes to represent their role. Roman senators, for example, would wear a purple stripe on their gowns. 8. Weasel, birds and monkeys are the most popular pets in Rome. Pets were very popular with the Romans, just as pets are in modern times. Contrary to popular belief, the toga was only ever worn by wealthy Roman citizens. While most togas are white, some are colored to represent one's role in society, while others have colored stripes to represent their role. Roman senators, for example, would wear a purple stripe on their gowns. 9. Contrary to popular belief, the toga was only ever worn by wealthy Roman citizens. While most togas are white, some are colored to represent one's role in society, while others have colored stripes to represent their role. Roman senators, for example, would wear a purple stripe on their gowns. Plebs, or lower-class Roman citizens, would usually wear a woolen tunic. Although not worn by every Roman, the Romans were so captivated by their toga that they coined the term togati, which translates as people of the gown. 10. The Romans wiped their buttocks with a sponge on a stick. Have you ever wondered where the phrase "get the short end of the stick" comes from? As sophisticated as it is, Romans' answer to toilet paper is absolutely disgusting. There would be a bundle of sticks with sponges on one side in the public restrooms of the Roman Empire, which were used for cleaning after someone had left their business. These sticks, known as xylospongiums, are washed by rinsing them in a bucket of water with salt or vinegar. As you can imagine, getting the tip of the wand wrong would be a very harrowing experience, and it is certainly an experience worthy of the common saying named after him.